So we're ready to go from the Palace. And here's the way they'll line up for the ball game. No big surprises. Lane Beer has a little wrist sprain, but it's much better than it was the other day in Chicago.
Well, he did have some problems with it in Game 4, but I think his biggest problem has been that he has been a little off in his offensive game. The Bulls have done a good job of making every effort that he has taken a tough one. You see Collins' record right there. A win tonight, he gets to 500.
Your officials, as assigned by the National Basketball Association, Darryl Gerritsen, Dick Bavetta, and Hugh Hollins. There's Chuck Daly, the coach of the Pistons. Doug Collins coaches the Bulls, and both have done a splendid job. So we're ready to go, and we sincerely hope that you'll enjoy it. If you like basketball, you're as cinched to enjoy this one. And we're underway. Lane Beer and Cartwright will jump it. And the tip is won by Detroit, Isaiah Thomas. So the Pistons with a chance to draw first blood on a stormy night in Detroit. Lane Beer over Pippen, 2-0.
Yeah, I told you. There was nothing wrong with that wrist.
Here comes Michael Jordan. Dumars has him first. Pippen against Aguirre. Grant over Lane Beer. Answers. It's 2-2. Aguirre will inbound for Detroit.
In Game 4, we saw both teams go to the mat in terms of effort and extending themselves. Chicago trying to get that 3-1 advantage, and Detroit trying to stay alive. And it'll be interesting to see if they can come back with that same sort of intensity as Aguirre shoots.
Shoots it long, and Jordan the rebound. Still 2-2. Chicago on the attack. Just underway. Scottie Pippen thought about it, didn't pull the trigger. Retreats on the dribble. Grant again against Aguirre. Wheels, deals, banks it up too hard. Mahorn the rebound. Outlet Isaiah. Lane Beer spots up for three. Yes. He has all 5 Detroit points. It's 5-2. Jordan with play instruction. Scottie Pippen handles the ball.
When you work against the shot clock like both of these teams do, that's when defenses can be more effective. Cartwright against the clock misses.
Did everything right except make the shot. He got himself a good baseline jumper, but he missed it. 5-2 Detroit. Fast starts have not been their story throughout the playoffs. Dumars. Nope. Rebound Cartwright. Here comes Michael. Dumars back quickly to try to hit him off. Off it comes to Pippen. And he bangs it in there. It's 5-4.
The biggest improvement in Pippen in the second half of the season has been his decision making. He has now decided what shots he wants to take. Lambeer misses that. You know, his personality as a player is to take it to the hoop, but he also realizes he's got to take that perimeter shot.
As Jordan does from 19. It's a 1-point game. Chicago, their first lead of the night. Michael has his first points of the evening. Lane Beer has all 5 for Detroit. Isaiah Thomas front court, goes to Aguirre, forces his way in, drew the foul, shoots 2. Horace Grant got it. While we have a moment here, Dick Versace seated across the way. Dick was Chuck Daly's coach, assistant coach earlier this year till he got the Indiana job. Dick, any special philosophy they use trying to defend against Michael Jordan?
Yes, when I was with Detroit, we had what we call the Jordan rules. And what we did is we double-teamed him based on where he caught the ball on the court, not on what the play they were running dictated. So it looks like Chuck may have gone back to the Jordan rules, whereas he did not play the Jordan rules in the first 3 games.
That's Dick Versace, the coach of the Pacers.
None of those Jordan rules have worked. You know what he'll do? They'll just put him with the basketball and see how they double team.
Aguirre misses the first, tries again.
You know what's interesting about the Detroit team is that Aguirre is the guy that's supposed to give them inside game, and he does that, but most of their offense comes from their guard.
Still 6-5 Chicago. Michael shot it long. Mahorn, great outlet pass. Sends Dumars up. He drives under the hoop, has no shot. Aguirre on the base against Grant. Shot it short. Rebound by Cartwright. Chicago doing a good job on the glass in the early going. 9:02 left in the quarter. Detroit has missed its last 3 shots. Jordan to Horace Grant. To Jordan. Hangs in the air, almost threw it away. Pippen. Jump shot is good. Chicago leads at 8-5 with 8:45. And after looking sharp in the first minute, Detroit going back to a sputtering start here.
Well, Detroit is basically a perimeter team, and when the shots are not going, that's going to allow Chicago to build a little bit of a lead. Hodges from the corner.
4-3. And all of a sudden, it's 11-5 Chicago. They've scored 9 straight points. 8:20 left in the first quarter.
I think in a series like this, you also have to find a way to get some cheap baskets since execution is key. Big shot, Thomas.
Great shot, Thomas, despite excellent defense by Jordan. It's 11-7. That pass too tall. Mahorn out of there with it. Isaiah to the front court. In and out. Cartwright the rebound. No second shots for either team. Jordan heads the other way with 7:52 in the quarter. 11-7. Cartwright at the high post against Mahorn. They deny him the ball.
Well, they're trying to get something going inside with either Cartwright or Grant. Mahorn picks up the foul.
His and the team's first. 7:38 left in the quarter. Cartwright to the foul line to shoot 2. Game 6 of this series will be Friday night in Chicago. Cartwright makes the first, which quiets the crowd a little bit. It's 12-7 Bulls. 7:38 left in the quarter.
An early call for Brad Sellers. Grant goes out of the ball game, and I think Doug Collins may be trying to make a statement here. They ripped him pretty good, Brad Sellers, in the papers today, called him baby soft Sellers, and that they had to get something out of him. And if Sellers can get going offensively, that'll be a huge plus for the Bulls.
Cartwright, that deliberate shooting style of his, nails them both. 13-7, 7:38 left in the quarter. Isaiah walks it to the front court. Aguirre and a whistle, illegal defense, Chicago. That's the first one.
Scottie Pippen started to come over. When he saw Jordan rotate, he rotated as well, but didn't clear the paint when his man came back out.
Sellers, by the way, has played in only 1 game and just 3 minutes in this series. He plays Aguirre. Isaiah, the open man, head of the circle. Got it. 13-9 with 7:10. Isaiah has the second basket. Lane Beer has 5, Thomas 4. That's the Detroit score. Jordan against Dumars to Sellers. Pippen for 3. Got him. It's 16-9 with 6:50 left in the period.
That's exactly the kind of start they need from someone else other than Jordan to get their offensive confidence up looking at the hoop.
Lane Beer fakes, fires, comes up empty. Rebound Cartwright. Chicago looks very good early. 6:33 left, first quarter. Jordan heads to the right side of the floor, looks to Cartwright against Mahorn. Gets him the ball.
And Cartwright wants this one.
Mahorn blocked it, had to foul to do it. He thought he got a clean block. Darryl Garretson said no. 2 fouls on Mahorn, and a timeout is called by Detroit. 6:18 left in the quarter, and the Bulls lead by 7. 16-9 our score, 6:18 left in the first quarter, Steve Jones.
We talked earlier about the decision-making of Scottie Pippen, and he has the ability to shoot the ball from the perimeter, and he's done an excellent job of providing some outside firepower for them here in the early part of the ball game. 7 points, but a big difference is his willingness to shoot the three-point field goal. In the regular season, he didn't get one shot per game, and you see what his attempts are during the playoffs.
Dick Versace, any thoughts on the good Chicago start?
I tell you what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that Detroit is not really putting the kind of pressure on the perimeter shooters that they did in Game 4. They were making them reload, come up under, maybe take a drive or a dribble. But right now, the spot-up shots are there.
Cartwright to the foul line as play resumes. 6:18 left in the first quarter.
John Sally has replaced Rick Mahorn, and of course Sally has given him a tremendous lift off the bench along with Dennis Rodman.
Cartwright hurls a brick up there, tries again. Cartwright has 4 rebounds in the game. The Pistons as a team only 3. He makes one of the 2. It's 17-9. Chicago has the lead. An uneasy crowd in the Palace. Dumars. 17-11. Jordan, a 2-man game with Cartwright. Lane Beer plays it. Cartwright gets into the middle, fades, fires, and hits it.
They have made a concerted effort to try to establish an inside game through either Grant or Cartwright. Cartwright's got 5, and they've got control of the game right now.
Isaiah finds Dumars.
They're doubling up at the point of attack. Good job by Thomas to penetrate.
Cartwright with the steal, but he threw it to Bill Laimbeer.
Well, it was a choice of Laimbeer or us.
Probably made the right choice. Aguirre fumbled it, but it wound up in Laimbeer's lap. Dumars the open jump and won't go. Foul Isaiah Thomas battling with Cartwright. First foul on Thomas.
Isaiah Thomas had 10 rebounds in the last ball game, and he sneaks in there and gets those rebounds. This time he tried to get one, fouled Cartwright in doing so. Jordan out of the ball game early, Paxson in, so they'll go with Hodges and Paxson in the backcourt.
And Rodman gets Aguirre for Detroit. Here comes Paxson across the line. 5:05 left in the quarter. Horace Grant about to return to the Chicago scheme of things. Cartwright works against Laimbeer. He's double teamed. Pippen up top. 7 on the shot clock. Knocked away nicely by Laimbeer. They wisely let it go out of bounds, but they give the ball to Detroit. Say it went off Pippen's foot, I guess.
Well, he pointed to himself and said yes. He, looked like he thought that the shot clock was going to run down and get another 5 seconds. The ball bounced off him. Grant in, Pippen out.
And Isaiah Thomas to the front court. Bulls on top by 8. 19-11. Isaiah threw up the long-range jumper and came up empty.
The one thing that Cartwright has done is limit them to one opportunity at their end of the floor. Has done a good job of rebounding.
Paxson to Grant to Paxson. His jump shot, yes. And it's a 10-point lead, 21-11. It was 5-2 Detroit. Since then, 19-6 Chicago.
Well, what the Pistons have to do is do what they do best and get some scoring from their backcourt. They go right to Vinnie Johnson. The matchups that they can exploit the best are Paxson, Hodges against Isaiah Thomas and Vinnie Johnson or Joe Dumars. But they have got to look for areas to score points cheaply, and that would break down the Chicago defense the quickest.
Vinnie Johnson for 2. He gets the first. It's 21-12. 4:08 left first quarter. Johnson makes them both. 21-13. Paxson up the floor. Brad Sellers up top against Rodman to Paxson. Almost walks.
Well, Paxson has come off with the idea of shooting the ball, and even though he didn't get that one, he had that look in his eye.
Cartwright, that won't go. Tip by Sellers will. Boy, that might get him going.
2 tips by Sellers.
23-13. Vinnie Johnson, 18-footer, went 17. Rebound, big battle. Chicago has yet another rebound. Paxson front court. The foul will be called on Vinnie Johnson. Edwards in, Lame Beer out for Detroit.
In games, you always look to see which team is the most aggressive, and at this point in the ball game, that goes to the Chicago Bulls as we have a timeout.
3:29 left first quarter. Bulls 23, Pistons 13. One of those patented bad starts for Detroit, taking nothing away from Chicago, but it's been this way for Detroit the last couple series, and the competition's getting a little stronger. They may run themselves into a mess.
They could put themselves in a big hole right here because you've got the home court advantage, but now you've allowed a team to believe that they got a chance to win, and they've got a 10-point advantage right now.
Paxson works against Isaiah. Michael's back in the game. That doesn't really surprise you, does it? Gets Paxson the open three. In and out. Rebound. Sellers fouled Rodman. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Steve and Dick and Craig will be selecting the Miller Lite Player of the Game, so stay tuned for that.
Well, at least you got me some help this time.
That's right. You need all the help you can get. Thomas to the front court. 3:05 left in the quarter. Edwards lays it up and in. Good pass, Vinnie Johnson. 23-15, 2:55 left. Sally knocked it away and out of bounds. 2:48 left in the quarter. Grant to Paxson. To Grant. His running hook won't go, but there is Bill Cartwright. His 7th rebound already. Isaiah knocked it loose. Paxson got it back. A lot of time on the shot clock.
Paxson turned down a good opportunity to shoot it because he thought they had a chance to get something at the basket. They ended up turning it over. Those are the kinds of plays that will allow Detroit to get back in the game. Detroit had to work very hard for everything they've gotten since those 2 early shots from Bill Laimbeer.
Edwards and a whistle. Offensive foul against Dennis Rodman. Away from the ball. His first. Mahorn has 2 for Detroit. No other player in this game has more than 1. 2:12 left first quarter. 23-15. Yet another whistle. Again off the ball. James Edwards. It's penalty time. Michael Jordan goes to the line. Dave Corzine gives Bill Cartwright a well-deserved rest. Cartwright with 7 rebounds.
So notice how early Collins has gone to his bench. He's got Paxson, Corzine, Sellers all in the ball game after they did not have an effect in the ball game in Chicago. You see the numbers for Michael Jordan. He has been explosive in wins, and I don't know if 25 points a game is bad, but it's not enough for his team to win.
He rattles in both free throws. 82% shooter from the line in the playoffs. Thomas in and out. Rebound. Sellers. They can build a 12-point lead with a basket here. Less than 2 minutes. Jordan gives it up to Corzine. Won't go. Isaiah the rebound to Sally against Paxson. 2-shot foul.
Good idea by Paxson. He knew that Sally was going to try to come over the top with something dramatic, maybe give his team a little bit of life. A good foul and make him get him from the free throw line. But that's one of the rare opportunities that the Pistons have looked for something cheap. And they got Sally out in front. He saw no help. And maybe Paxson could have tried to challenge him off the dribble, made him force a turnover. But you know, big guys don't dribble it too good for a long distance.
Sally for 2. Makes the first. Sam Vincent about to get into the game, but he doesn't get to the table in time. Sally tries again. 25-17. A minute 35 left in the quarter. Sellers against Rodman. Grant almost walks. Paxson up top. Jordan. 4 on the shot clock. Michael knows it. 4-3. In and out. Rebound Rodman. Dumars with it. A minute 12 in the quarter. 25-17 our score.
They have some confusion down on the box, and they finally get the ball to Edwards, and that forced the double team.
5 on the timer. Vinnie Johnson won't go. Jordan the rebound. Less than a minute, as you see.
And the Bulls have had chances.
Sally stole it. Shot it on the way down and missed it. Vinnie Johnson misses it. Sally had it, lost it out of bounds. Who are they going to give it to? Chicago.
The Bulls in that last sequence had a couple of chances to go to the basket, and they didn't. And Sally made a good defensive play to get him going the other way, but he couldn't finish.
Hodges back in. Jordan up the floor. 25-17. Michael has 4 points, but his team leads by 8.
He hasn't really gotten that aggressive look at the offensive end so far in this period. He just kind of tried to involve everybody else in the game.
3 on the shot clock. 2. That's for 3, and that's no good. And the quarter is over. And at the end of 1, the Chicago Bulls are cruising. Long way to go, however. Chicago 25, Detroit 17. Horace Grant will inbound it. Chicago will have a chance to score first. Scottie Pippen up the floor. Rodman plays in. Corzine works against Edwards. It won't go, and the rebound, John Sally to Dumars. Isaiah rests for Detroit. Vinnie Johnson works with Dumars. Really hot in this building tonight. Dave Corzine called for a foul again away from the ball. Edwards comes up grimacing after that contact. And Rodman inbounds on the side.
Well, they're trying to get something going inside, and they're looking for James Edwards to provide that firepower. But, you know, he's a turnaround jump shooter, and if you can get him a little bit further away, then it's like you have no inside game.
That's what they did that time down. Horace Grant works against Rodman. Offensive foul. His second. Rodman drew it.
You'll see Grant right here trying to work, and what Doug Collins was telling him is just take the ball and spin and make your move. Rodman did a good job of drawing the foul.
Rodman leaves it for Vinnie Johnson. Edwards at the high post this time. Sally. Dumars. Wild shot by Dumars. Won't go. Edwards rebound. Got it. One of the few offensive rebounds in this game for Detroit.
And that's the thing that really got them going in the game in Chicago. They were able to keep the ball alive and get second opportunities when the first one wouldn't go in.
John Sally picks up the foul. It is of the loose ball variety.
You see the tough shot by Dumars, but Edwards is there. Jordan nearly makes a block, but Edwards gets it in. Now, Pippen had it going in that first period, and we'll see if he can get back that offensive rhythm, because since he's come back in the game, he has yet to look at the hoop.
Down low, Jordan posts up against Dumars, makes a great pass. Grant missed the shot. Corzine, however, rebounds and score. 27-19, 10-15 left first half. Vinnie Johnson deflected away. Big scramble. Ball goes to Chicago. Rick Mahorn about to check back in for the Pistons.
With Rodman, Sally, and Edwards up front, they don't really have anyone that can get a shot on their own, so they have to go for play execution. And if the defense of Chicago attacks at the point of attack, they have a tough time getting them shots.
Grant misses the jumper. Sally yet another rebound. Unloads it to Vinnie Johnson. Lane Beer, Thomas, Mahorn about to check back in. Grant now 1 for 5 from the field. Vinnie Johnson hangs in the air, drills it. It's a 6-point game. Chicago has the lead with 9:23 left in the half. Hodges for 3. Rodman the rebound. Out of the pack with the ball to Sally. To Edward. It won't go. Corzine the rebound. And a foul will be called against Rodman. Not a good foul there.
We talked about them not being able to get a shot from their front line at the point of attack, but when you've got a guy like Vinnie Johnson who can make something on his own, you can get some results. You see the shot clock was at 10 when he got 2. That pressure is off now that Aguirre's in the game. He has that one-on-one ability. They haven't really exploited it, and we'll see if they do that while he's in the game this time.
Wholesale changes for Detroit. Lane Beer back in, Aguirre back in, Thomas, Mahorn. Hodges got his own rebound, but stepped on the line, and Detroit gets the ball. 8:47 left in the first half.
I think at some point Jordan's going to have to decide that he's going to have to start taking some shots himself. They have the lead, but Chicago's allowing Detroit slowly but surely to grind their way back into the game.
Mahorn can't control the pass, and it goes over to Chicago. And Horace Grant will inbound to Jordan. It's almost like Jordan's on cruise control. 8:29 left in the half. 27-21 Chicago. Traveling on Scottie Pippen.
See the turnovers and those are unforced turnovers where you're just making mistakes against the not heavy defensive pressure. That allows the opponent a chance to score.
7 turnovers for Chicago. Dumars almost turned it over. Isaiah. Cartwright about to return. Isaiah works against Jordan. 3-second violation against Detroit. On Mahorn as Isaiah was patty caking around. As I mentioned, here comes Cartwright back into the game. So Hodges and Jordan bring it up.
You look at this number of points scored, 4-2. That's what we have in 4 minutes of play. So you know you've got one of those ugly offensive games. And if that's the case, then you've got to go to the people that can score it the easiest for you. Jordan with the ball now.
He finds Hodges on the baseline. That's knocked away. Stolen by Isaiah Thomas. Their 8th turnover. Ahead to Dumars. Play instructions from Chuck Daly. Dumars. Thomas. 4-2. Short. Rebound. Cartwright. He's had a big night off the glass. Jordan draws company. Hodges on a drive this time. Got it. 29-21. 4 points in the quarter for Detroit in just about 5 minutes. Same number for Chicago. And to that end, timeout is called by Detroit. with 7:10 left in the half. It's 29-21. 29-21. Chicago clings to the lead in a low-scoring game. Dick, what's going on? These teams ought to be able to score more than this.
Well, what you're seeing is that Detroit is really settling for jump shots. They're not getting the ball inside. They're not taking the ball off the dribble. They're shooting 27% right now, and it's a real struggle for any kind of offense at all. Chuck is trying all kinds of combinations. Not much luck.
And Chicago's struggling at the same time. Aguirre will inbound. 7:10 left in the half. Isaiah Thomas walks. Yet another turnover. This is not a pretty sight at the moment. That's fine with Chicago. They've got the lead.
The Bulls have got the lead, and what they want to try to do at this point is just add to it. And if they can somehow sneak out into a double-figure lead, their confidence is really going to soar by halftime.
Isaiah hits the deck. Cartwright handles the pass. Brad Sellers drops it back to Cartwright. His jumper, nicely done. 31-21 with 6:46 left. First half. Cartwright 7 points, 8 rebounds. That's goaltending.
That is a play that worked extremely well for them on the fourth game, and they can do it almost at any time with Thomas or Dumars when they clear his side against Craig Hodges.
31-23, 6.5 minutes left in the half. Pippen to Cartwright to Pippen. Michael. Mahorn on a mismatch has him.
Well, they're trying to get the ball to Cartwright, and they force a turnover against Jordan.
Jordan still with just 4 points, but his team leads by 8, 6:17 left. 9 turnovers for the Bulls. Without that high figure, they would really be cruising in this game. Michael has only taken 3 shots in this game. He's made 1 of them. And that has to concern the Pistons, too. Because somewhere along the line, you figure he'll get it going. Score it, and a foul on Jordan. Great shot, Isaiah Thomas. He got that off a tough defensive player. We probably don't mention enough how good Jordan is defensively.
Now, Jordan is outstanding at the defensive end, but against tough defense, that's when Isaiah Thomas is usually his best, and he's most creative. He comes up with the three-point play.
31-26, and we reach the halfway point in the second quarter as Jordan crosses the line. That got the crowd back into the game, if that really means anything. Cartwright foul Mahorn, his third.
The one thing that Cartwright can do, which presents a lot of problems for big people, is turn and face. Even though he's not a big leaper, he has the ability to put the ball on the floor for one dribble, either going left or right. That time, he got Mahorn to reach, and that takes him out of the ball game and brings John Sally back in.
2-shot opportunity for Cartwright. He's got big, long arms and a unique shooting style.
And through most of his career, he's been hovering right around 80%. This year, for some reason or another, it's been a tough year for him at the free throw line. His field goal percentage has come up in the playoffs, however.
33-26, 5:46 left in the first half. Steve Jones, Skip Carey with you. Dick Versace along as well, and Craig Sager will join us from here at halftime. In and out, Isaiah. Cartwright the rebound. Michael Jordan with the ball. Dumars plays him. Pippen on the wing against Aguirre.
Giving Pippen a chance to go one-on-one.
He missed the shot. Rebound. Cartwright had it again. It goes out of bounds, and it'll belong to Chicago. It hit Aguirre, who was lying, sprawled across the end line.
Well, to this point, Cartwright is a guy that has made a difference for the Chicago Bulls in maintaining this lead. Very active on both boards. They get a new 24.
The Detroit forwards have only 2 points in this game. Those by John Sally from the foul line, so they're without a field goal. And it comes to Cartwright, 33-26, 5:15 left.
See, to this point, Jordan is not even looking at the basket, just more or less content to be a decoy. Sellers.
Left it short. Isaiah knocked loose by Pippen, but he gets it back. Belongs to Detroit on the end line.
When you're struggling, you always want help from the officials, but that was a tough pass in traffic, and Lambier didn't see Paxson from the rear.
Detroit can't get anything at all going inside, can they?
They haven't been able to, but one of the things they could do is exploit this matchup.
Aguirre finally gets on the board. 33-28. It's a 5-point game again as Jordan goes to the attack. He almost walked. In fact, between you and I, he did. Paxson up top. Sellers. Prior to the shot, a whistle. And a foul on Aguirre prior to the shot. With 4:19 left in the half.
Fourth team.
Scottie Pippen works against Aguirre again. Dumars, the thankless job of hawking Jordan. Cartwright fumbled the pass away. It's recovered by Sally. Dumars with it. They can move to within 3. Sally, little hook. Won't go. Rebound. Aguirre kept it alive, but there's the omnipresent Cartwright again. Jordan in the open floor to Sellers on the move, and he drills it. He's a good shooter in a spot like that. When he can spot up off the run, it's 35-28.
Well, that's what Sellers does best, and when he's shooting the ball, the rest of his game comes along with it.
Thomas hangs in the air. Got it. 35-30. Isaiah now with 9. 3:15 remaining in the half. Paxson fumbles it away. It's on the deck, but Sellers out of there with it. Pippen is played by Isaiah Thomas. Paxson past Sally, who knocked it away, but had to foul to steal it. Second on Sally. Penalty time for Chicago. 3:02 left till halftime. Timeout is called by Chicago with 3:02 left. The Bulls lead by 5. They'll be at the line, and we'll be back.
One of the things that we have seen from the Chicago Bulls is a lot of ball movement. And you look at the numbers for Michael Jordan, but the more passes you make, the greater chance of error. And I think that the Bulls have tried to make a stern commitment to move the ball, to move the defense, and they passed up some good opportunities to shoot the ball. You got to recognize when you have a field goal opportunity and put the ball in the air.
37-30 as I score. Aguirre drives the lane. They need more of that. Detroit does. (37-32) the score. Grant stolen away by Isaiah. He's got Sellers to beat. The trailer is Aguirre. 37-34. That's as close as Detroit has been in a while. 2:26 left. Back to Paxson alone, and he buries it. That's a momentum slower. 39-34.
When you talk about the pace of the game, both teams like a low-scoring contest, and in this situation, as Aguirre scores, he's got 8 in the period now. It really favors the play of Michael Jordan down the stretch because he can do so many things.
Aguirre has awakened. He has 8 points all in the last 3 or 4 minutes. 39-36. We're in the 2-minute period. Pippen about to return. Michael doesn't shoot it again. Sellers, good move. Got it. 41-36. A minute 35. The team's warming up a little bit offensively here in the last 2 or 3 minutes. Joe Dumars leaves it for Aguirre. Fakes. 3-second violation. I'll bet you that's what it is. He faked one time too many. Coming up at halftime, Steve, Craig Sager and Pacer coach Dick Versace here. As we mentioned, they'll look at a scientific explanation of hang time. Paul Ryden with an NBA bedtime story. Stay tuned for that. Plus a look at the first half. All that coming up at halftime.
Paxson looked like he either hit his knee or turned his ankle a little bit and had to come out of the ball game, so they get Hodges in.
Jordan winds up on the deck, no whistle. It was the knee of Paxson. Isaiah finds Aguirre for 3. Got it. And just like that, it's a 2-point game with a minute left. Jordan's problems continue. 1 for 3 from the field. Foul. Score it. That's what has to concern Detroit. You know you can't shut him down all night long.
What Jordan decided this time, there's not going to be any more passing. He's going to go up for this shot because he took a pretty hard fall the last time down. And that at least got him aggressive at the offensive end. Now he has a chance to get the 3 points back.
Dumars the foul. 44-39, 46 seconds remaining in the half. Isaiah. And all of a sudden, both teams are hot. 44-41. Relatively speaking to how awfully they were shooting the ball the first 6 minutes of this quarter. 12 on the shot clock. You look at the time remaining in the half. 8 on the shot clock. Edwards knocked it away, had to foul to do it.
Well, you know, there's such a thing as shooter's rhythm, and when players make a concerted effort to pass the ball, sometimes they pass up shots and in the rhythm in which they would take them, and that throws them off. And here of late, not only have both teams gotten a little bit easier chance to score, but they've also gotten the ball where players have been ready to shoot it.
Cartwright will shoot 2. He can give his team a 5-point advantage. It's going to be anybody's game at halftime, that is for sure. Charles Davis checks into the game for his first playing time of the night. Sellers goes up. 44-41, 16 seconds left. Whoa, Hodges almost stole it from Dumars. You see the time remaining. Detroit has all of that, so let's just watch. Isaiah misses, and that's it. The first half is history, and the Bulls have to be pleased with what has transpired so far, despite the fact that Michael Jordan has been quiet. Craig Sager, Dick Versace standing by. Bulls by 4 at the break. So the third quarter about to get underway. We will have the draft coming up here on TBS, and that will be prime time this year, Tuesday, June 27th, 7:35 Eastern Time.
Well, and
you'll be involved, won't you, and Rick and Bob Neal?
It's going to be of particular interest to these Chicago Bulls who have a lot of picks in that first round, and they have number 6 to start with. They're coming back with the same attack that they had, and that's the Bill Cartwright against Rick Mahorn,
who has 3. Loose ball foul. If it's on Mahorn, he has 4. He does, and boy, that's... In 9 minutes, he has 4 fouls.
Well, all the warm-ups that he did on you and I didn't help him at all.
He might be playing the same way against Cartwright. John Sally comes in. And Mahorn, of course, with the 4 fouls, has to depart. Jordan for Grant. He walks. Another turnover. No doubt about that one. That's 13 Chicago turnovers. Without those, they would be in great shape in this game. As it is, they lead by 4. Aguirre. Isaiah, 18-footer. Shot at 17. Grant the rebound. Jordan is in the open floor. Drops it off. Pippen won't go. Sally the rebound. He hands it off to Joe Dumars. Very deliberate attack for Detroit. 45-41. We have played just about a minute of the third quarter. Aguirre blocked away by Grant. Recovered, though, by Sally, and a whistle and a foul. I think on Pippen. Let's see. That's who it is.
Aguirre had great position as the ball came in, and it was a big recovery by Grant to wipe away the 2 points, and Pippen reached in, so Detroit gets a new 24.
John Sally. 45-43, a 2-point game. Boy, if he gets hot, he's just coming into his own as a solid NBA performer.
You did that game in Milwaukee when he had such a huge fourth period and made a difference. They're going to get a foul on the backcourt, which will wipe away the breaking opportunity. But that's what you look for in a close ball game, is someone other than the stars to come through with a big effort.
That was a good foul by Chicago for a cinch layup was in the making.
But I think the key to this ball game is which team is going to find the cheapest baskets and the easiest way to score, and both have been content to grind it out and try to out-execute one another.
Isaiah ties the game at 45, and a timeout by Chicago already. 10:19 left in the third quarter. Timeout on the floor. Detroit and Chicago tied at 45. We'll be back. .45 all our score. Here's a look back to the semifinals last year, Game 5. These same 2 teams hook up. Remember Adrian Dantley? Now a Dallas Maverick. He got a big hoop. So did Isaiah Thomas. And in 5 games, it was Detroit. Not going to be that way this year, that's for sure. It's a dogfight. Dick Versace, quickly while we have a moment. Anything you see early in the third quarter of interest? Well, we've lost Dick momentarily, but we'll talk to him a little later.
Now let's see what the Bulls come back with in order to try to get themselves a score. Good defensive pressure forces a jump ball situation, Aguirre and Pippen. But the Bulls, who were early in the ball game, the aggressor and played with a quiet assurance, seem to be coming a little bit more tentative, and I think they have to get back to that aggressive posture and realize that they're playing here in Detroit and they need every edge.
Chicago wins the draw. Pippen thought about a 3. Hodges thought about a 2. But he missed. Lambier the rebound. Detroit can take the lead for the first time since the first quarter, and they do. Aguirre. A 2-point basket. 47-45. Another turnover. And Chicago's poise has, at least for the moment, disappeared. Isaiah Thomas up the floor. Aguirre has been hot. Drew the foul as he missed. He took a bad-looking shot, but he saw the foul coming, and he wanted to get to the line for 2, and he did. And Mark Aguirre, who was invisible 0 for 2 in the first quarter, has come like gangbusters.
For 24 minutes, they've been able to keep this crowd out of the ball game, and suddenly with a quick start where they've outscored them 6-0 and possibly a chance to go to 7 or 8, the crowd has gotten themselves back into the ball game, and Chicago and Jordan will have to come back and really make a concerted effort to keep that part of Detroit's attack down, and that's that 6-man the crowd.
48-45. Aguirre seeks his 15th point. And he has it. A 4-point Piston lead. Bulls haven't scored in the first 2.5 minutes here. Cartwright wants to change that. And he does. Bill Cartwright now with 12 points. And 10 rebounds. 49-47 with 9:14 left in the third. Lane Beer has it up top. Pippen tried to steal it. He did steal it. Hodges can't control it. Out of bounds. It still belongs to Detroit.
Had they been able to control it, Pippen would have been free for an easy 2. And as it turns out, 6 seconds on the shot clock for the Detroit Pistons.
No possession for Chicago. Isaiah heads for the hole. Great pass. Dumars the hoop. It's 51-47. Offensive foul is called, I guess, against Horace Grant.
Penetration always creates problems for defenses, and they gambled trying to get to Isaiah Thomas, and that left Joe Dumars open. Grant picked up the foul trying to establish position against Bill Laimbeer, and that's going to get Brad Sellers into the ball game.
Meanwhile, Pat Riley and Magic Johnson and Michael Cooper and Byron Scott, James Worthy all propped up watching this one, getting ready for the final. Having yet to lose a playoff game. Aguirre. He is hotter than a firecracker. 6-point lead with 8.5. Jordan to the front court with play instruction. He has been quiet as a mouse to this point.
Simply hasn't been looking at the hoop, and I think he has to.
Hodges for 3, and that's a big 3-point basket for Chicago. It quiets the crowd and slows the momentum. 53-50. Dumars way off the beam. Rebound Pippen. Outlet pass Jordan. Hodges for 2 this time. But all of a sudden he's on fire.
Well, Hodges is one of those streak shooters, and when he gets on a roll, and he had one earlier in the season where he had like something like 16 of 18 3-point field goals, he can really hurt a team.
Dumars cross court. Thomas. A 1-point Detroit lead. Isaiah with play instructions. Isaiah. They're starting to shoot it here now. 3-point game. Foul. 2 shots. Pippen to the line.
Detroit.
7:15 left in the third quarter. Pistons lead at 55-52. Steve Jones, Dick Versace, Skip Carey with you from the Palace at Auburn Hills. Eastern Conference Final, Game 5. Detroit and Chicago tied at 2 games each.
Pippen and the Bulls wanted a controlled tap, and they don't get it, so they get a new 24. You know, Pippen had 7 points early and has not scored a field goal since then.
Sellers had to shoot it, missed it. Isaiah threw it off Hodges, out of bounds. Good play by Thomas. And the Pistons have the ball again with a 3-point lead. 6:53 left in the third quarter. Great pass, great block. Pippen with the block. And a foul against Sally.
Good reaction by Scottie Pippen, who thought he had a play on the ball as it bounced in and then stayed after it and knocked it away. They get a good play. to get themselves back to basketball.
And a chance to move to within one or tie it with a three-point hoop or play. Dennis Rodman about to enter the Detroit lineup. Dumars with the attempted steal. Rodman gets into the game. Sally goes up. Pippen gets it in. Michael Jordan. A bump on Dumars. And that was a foul, but I'm sure Dumars is thinking, you know, he's good enough. Give him any help.
You see the field goal attempts, and we know that that number is going to pick up, and Jordan has to take it upon himself to make some things happen at the offensive end.
It went off Hodges. Yet another turnover forced by Thomas. 17 Chicago turnover. Aguirre up top. He stays hot. 57-52. 5:45 in the third, and Aguirre can feel it now. Sellers posts up against him. The ball instead comes to Hodges to Cartwright. Lane Beer got a piece of that. It goes off Cartwright. Turnover number 18. Detroit has only 6. Isaiah with play instruction. 6 all night for Detroit, 6 in the quarter for Chicago. Michael with the rebound. And a foul on Dumars.
Well, it's a penalty, and Chicago will get a chance to score cheaply from the line, but they've got to do a better job of taking care of the basketball, and they've got to be more aggressive at the offensive end. They look now to the officials to help bail them out. When they were playing well in that first period of play, they were making everything happen for themselves, and the reverse has happened here at the top of the third period.
Jordan makes the first. He'll try again. (57-53). It's a three-point game. Isaiah up the floor. Lane Beer hasn't been hurt from in a while, but he bangs that one home. First points since the first quarter. 59-54 with 5 minutes. Hodges and a foul on. Offensive foul is going to be called on Hodges. That's his second. Dick Versace, these turnovers are killing the Chicago team.
Yes, and they seem to be coming, from the guard spot where the ball handling should be a little bit better than you're seeing tonight. A lot of it looks like tightness and nervousness to me.
59-54, 4:50 left. Not this time for Bill Laimbeer, and the rebound, Scottie Pippen. 4:40 left in the third quarter.
The first time they tried that play and it results in another turnover. The idea was a good one.
We're belaboring the point, I guess, but that's 19 turnovers. How can they still be in this game? And they're only down by 5, and Michael Jordan isn't in double figures. Thomas. Aguirre has been sensational after a slow start.
Well, the Pistons have won a lot of games, but all of their games have been hard games, and this is typical of the way that they play. They've got the lead, and right now they've got control, but they're not blowing this team away.
Laimbeer posts up, couldn't get it. Still 59-54. Jordan against Dumars, who plays with 3 fouls.
See, the Bulls are determined to get something going inside, and they continue to look for Cartwright.
If I were Chuck Daly, I'd really be worried about Jordan in the fourth quarter because he has just cruised through this game. Cartwright's had a big one, 14 points on the 10 board.
Particularly if the game is as close as it is, it's a 3-point advantage with the Pistons on top.
Four on the shot clock. Lane Beers, 3-point try, no. Rebound, Jordan. Here comes Michael.
And that missed field goal tells you one of the reasons that the Pistons have trouble putting teams away. A lot of their stuff comes from the perimeter.
Nobody plays Brad Sellers, but he missed the shot. Isaiah tries to get him running. Aguirre. He's cooled off finally. He misses a shot. But he has a chance to redeem himself. That won't go. And a whistle and a foul on Chicago. Edwards comes in. Lane Beer goes out. Isaiah gets a rest for Vinnie Johnson. Aguirre is shaken and timeout is called. 2:47 left in the third quarter. .247 left in the third quarter. Has Michael Jordan ever played this much in a game and only shot the ball 4 times?
Well, it's been a long time for us that have been watching here on the sidelines to try to recall when he put this many minutes in and had so few looks at the basket. You know, in other games you would want to credit the defense, but he has not really made an effort to shoot the ball so far in this ball game. But they are in the hunt, and that's the thing that has to be the concern of Chuck Daly at some point if his team does not build a bigger lead.
It's anybody's game. Edwards. Rodman with a left hand. Missed the layup. Brad Sellers the rebound. Here comes Michael. There's his 5th shot of the night, and he drills it. He has 11 points. 59-58 is the score. 2:20 left in the third. Isaiah Thomas with play instruction. Has it stripped away. It's recovered by Pippen. So Chicago can take the lead back. Right when it looked like they might get blown away, they come battling back off the floor as they've done throughout the playoff. Michael. Dennis Rodman plays it.
He got hit.
He got hit across the arm with no whistle. A break there for Detroit. Vinnie Johnson to the front court. 1:35 remaining in the third. James Edwards starts a move to the hoop. A whistle. He'll go to the line. Scottie Pippen picks up the foul. Only his second. He's in no
George was over talking to Darryl Garrison and saying everybody in the building saw it. How could you not see it? That ball left his hand and then just took a wayward direction as he got hit across the elbow. But they came back with a good play at their end with a screen, and that got Edwards a chance to go to the hoop.
And he makes the first one, and Detroit leads by 2. Dave Corzine about to check in. Cartwright gets a rest. .61-58. 90 seconds left, third quarter. Jordan that time. The whistle. Vinnie Johnson argues about that. He's saying, I didn't hit him as hard as Dennis did last time now. And he's right. Second foul on Vinnie.
Well, there's something about the sleight of hand. Rodman's a little bit quicker with his than Vinnie Johnson was, and Jordan back at the line. But Jordan now has that look of wanting to be involved at the offensive end.
Number 22, Charles Davis checks in. He replaces 33.
Charles Davis and then Scottie Pippen goes out.
Pippen, who got off to a great start, has been shut out since that first period of play. Had 7 first period points and was shooting the ball well, and since that break has not gotten a field goal or a free throw.
1-point game again with 1:15 in the third. Dick Versace, Steve Jones, Skip Carey with you. From the Palace at Auburn Hills, Vinnie Johnson. Sam Vincent about to check in for Chicago. Pistons by 3. It'll be a block on Rodman. And Michael is back at the line, and he's slowly warming to the task.
One of the things that's so difficult to do, and even though Rodman moves his feet very well, is get yourself in a position to get that low center of gravity of Jordan's to turn in another direction.
The later in the game it gets, the better a free throw shooter he is. Tonight, he's been perfect, 8 out of 8. (63-62). Jordan now with 15. 8 of them in this quarter. You see the time remaining in quarter number 3. 18-footer, Isaiah Thomas. Pistons by 3.
Jordan
12 on the shot clock. Excuse me, Steve. He gets it back and he knows what to do with it. 65-64, a 10-point quarter for Jordan, and a lot of them late. Pistons by 1. They have to shoot it with 3 seconds left in the quarter. They're 3 seconds less than what you see on the shot clock.
Isaiah Thomas told Aguirre that he wanted a 2-man game.
Isaiah hammers it low. Edwards out of there with it. The shot clock expired before the shot. So with 1 second left, the ball goes back to Chicago. Jordan's going to take the extra 1 second off. And it comes to Davis. They don't take any chances, and the quarter is history. And we head for the final 12 minutes of regulation, and it's not a necessarily pretty game, but it's a close one. We'll be back. Detroit by a point after 3. And now, Steve, let's take a look at the good old Minute Maid Orange soft drink stats.
Well, the percentage for the Bulls stays pretty high. Detroit has been creeping up, but the area to look at is turnovers. 20 for the Chicago Bulls, and that's allowed Detroit to get back in the game and control the third period of play. They continue to get more free throws and rebounds. Now, Bulls will have to establish themselves. The fourth period has belonged to Michael Jordan, and we can look for him to try to take over as we start the fourth period of play. You add it all up, what do we got there, Skip?
65-64, but in the last 2 periods, the Bulls have managed just 39 points. Still, they're very much in the game as we go to the final 12 minutes of regulation. Don't forget, Game 6 of this series, Friday night in Chicago. Detroit with a chance to draw first blood. Vinnie Johnson. Isaiah. 10 on the shot clock as Edwards works over Corzine, but left it short. Dennis Rodman pulls an offensive rebound.
That's, I think, Rodman's first offensive rebound of the evening. He had 8 in Game 4 and made it such a big difference.
Vinnie. He is capable of heating up just like Jordan shows signs of doing. Sam Vincent up the floor. Jordan took that 1 second off, and he's back to work. Vincent, good move with the left hand, laid it up and in, beat Isaiah. So help off the bench. First points of the night for Vincent, who's played very little. Isaiah rolls it low for Edwards, drew the foul, made the shot. The old pick and roll, oldest play in the game, but still one of the best. And that's 5 fouls on Horace Grant.
in that picture, you see that Benson was going to keep Isaiah Thomas from getting inside. He had a hole of his pants, but couldn't blind him as he made a sweet pass inside. They get the foul, and Edwards is on the line. So Edwards has had a dramatic effect in the last two ball games with his offensive play.
Edwards will try to convert the three-point play. Aguirre and Thomas go to the bench to rest. Sally and Dumars check in for Detroit. Edwards misses the free throw. Vinnie Johnson knocked it out of bounds. Good effort against the bigger man. Detroit by 3. Chicago with the ball. 10:45 left. You look at the leading scorers as Vincent works the sideline.
The personality of Vincent is to shoot the ball, and he is a guy that would really help them if he could get some business done at the offensive end.
Corzine with the offensive rebound and a big basket. So a couple of hoops off the bench early in the fourth quarter for Chicago. Detroit by a point. Vinny drew the foul. He made the hoop.
You see the reaction from Aguirre on the bench, but what made this play possible is the hard screen by James Edwards. That got Vinny Edwards into the paint, and he gets his shot to fall, and he has a chance for the three-point play.
And the three-point play is successful. 72-68, 10:15 left. Jordan against Dumars.
Got a clear side.
Goes to the middle. Great pass. Foul, Sally. The officials quickly jump in, but that was no maiming or anything like that. A good fake. He was up in the air and made sure he didn't get the hoop, and Corzine knew it.
Jordan does a good job of drawing everybody to him and then finding Corzine, who gets Sally up in the air, and you know that, I don't know, the extra hog tie.
A fortuitous hop for Dave Corzine. Chicago 18 of 20 at the foul line. The Pistons 10 of 13. That's that perimeter game Detroit is playing.
You know, it's a lot like that commercial where the guy says, no gouging, none of this, none of that. Well, always with the Pistons, you always get a little extra.
He missed this one. It's 72-69. 9:50 remaining as Dumars crosses the line. Vinnie Johnson works against Michael Jordan. He misses. He screams for a foul. Doesn't get it. And Jordan's in the open floor. Foul. Two-shot opportunity. Vinny thought he got the ball and got fouled at the other end. But that's not the way the officials saw it. And in this sport, like all others, they have the final word.
Jordan's crossing over, and he knows that at least he's going to get a chance to get the ball in the air, and he's thinking three-point play as he pushes it up. The crowd got a chance to look at it on the replay inside. The reaction is the same all over again, but Jordan gets the free throw. Whenever you see Vinnie Johnson start to work like he did the last time down, he's thinking of one thing. That's putting the ball in the air. Jordan did a good job of making him take a tough try.
And he misses a free throw. He's 10 of 11 on the night. 72-70 with 9:30 left regulation. Dumars into the lane on the run. High arc. Banged it up too hard. Rebound. Deflects out to Corzine. Vincent with it. Almost over and back. Michael Jordan with it. Scottie Pippen handles the ball against Rodman. A two-point try, an air ball for Jordan. And a foul against Charles Davis. His first. There was no foul on that one. Michael just flat out missed it. Dumars to the front court. 2-point game.
Whenever Dumars has been in this position and gotten a clear side, he's been able to hurt him, and they get the double up to make the ball go the other way.
Sally a turnaround off the glass. It's 74-70. Doug Collins with play instructions for Sam Vincent. Jordan. Corzine. Big basket. 74-72. Corzine has 5 points in the quarter. Vincent 2, so 7 of the 9 Chicago points have come from their reserves.
Pippen a
Jump
steal.
ball.
See, whenever Dumars comes to that side where they're giving him a clear opportunity to go off the dribble, they're doubling right away, so they're trying to make a pass. Pippen came in, thought he had to steal, and was headed the other way.
The tip is won by Detroit, surprisingly. Vinny.
Again, Vinny Johnson between the legs, and when he makes that move, he's thinking about scoring. He's on fire. He's got 7 in the period.
76-72. Vincent to the hole. Got it. But an offensive foul takes the basket away. A big break for Detroit there. They've had 2 in a row. They stole a jump ball and Chicago has a basket disallowed.
Again, the attitude of Vincent is to try to score, and he did a good job of beating his man, and the momentum just carried him into Dennis Rodman.
Cartwright and Hodges about to check in.
Vinny wants this one and see if he'll come back and work on his own. The shot clock's at 7.
Edwards got the hoop through the foul. Corzine gambled on a steal, didn't get it.
Vinny Johnson decides to pull it back out, and that's when Corzine gambled, and that exposed the middle.
78-72. Horace Grant with 5 fouls and just 2 points back into the game. Edwards goes to the line. He has 10 points, 4 already in the quarter. Rodman was in the lane a month and a half too early. And the ball will go back to Chicago. So Chicago has it back. 78-72 the score. Wonder how big that point will be before the night comes to a close. Grant against Sally. Jordan against the double team to Grant. And a foul and a 2-shot opportunity. And again, when the double team gets there, Jordan more than willing to give the ball up. And Grant winds up at the free throw line for 2. Dick Versace, any thoughts at this juncture?
As I'm watching this game, it's developing into a purist game. It's a game of nuances. You don't see baskets on baseline screens, on pick and roll. They're created by the individual. It's a beautiful game to watch.
7:01 left.
Sounds like a coach.
Does sound like a coach, except a lot of coaches don't use the word nuances. Nice going, Dick. 78-73, 7:01 left. Grant's first point and second since the first period of play. 78-74. Dumars across the line.
The Bulls haven't controlled any of the ball game since the intermission, but they're still in it. Vinny Johnson.
He got it. Vinny now with 15, 9 already in the quarter. 80-74. Jordan almost walked, but did not. Hodges for 3, and he got it. 80-77. Boy, this Chicago team, there's no quit in them. And they're in a spot to win this game, down by 3. Edwards. Not this time, but the rebound by Rodman. He's in a mess, but he finds John Sally. They get the hot man for three. Vinnie Johnson. If this was college, he'd earn his scholarship tonight. It's 83-77. Cartwright spins in, fumbles it, but a foul on Edwards. The bump caused the turnover. Third foul on Edwards. We've seen very little of Bill Laimbeer in the second half. Could be that wrist is acting up again. 83-77, 5:40 left. Lakers scout Ronnie Lester, a very interested observer here tonight, and he talks with our Craig Sager. Craig?
Well, thank you, Skip. What are you looking for in this series?
Well, basically, we're just trying to get any little thing we can. Different play calls, just different tendencies that the teams like to do.
Too much rest itself can be a pain. What are the Lakers doing during this rest period?
They're up in Santa Barbara, California right now practicing for 3 days up there.
So hopefully they won't be rusty.
Right.
Okay, thanks for being with us. Back to Skip Carey and Steve Jones.
Okay, Craig, thanks. Steve, any thoughts?
Well, what Chicago has to do is come back and score. The Detroit Pistons have now found a big weapon in Vinnie Johnson down the stretch. He really feels the scoring and is looking to put the ball in the air, and Chicago has to come back and score on their own. Not out of the ball game. They're only down by 6 with just under 6 minutes to play.
Scottie Pippen swings it to Horace Grant. Cartwright down where he likes to operate. Offensive foul is the call. Detroit's bench has scored 24 of their 42 points this half, 14 of them Vinnie Johnson.
You see what Doug Collins is trying to do is get the attention of the officials. He felt that they missed one the last time down, but the turnovers have hurt them, and that's another one. Here comes Vinnie Johnson, but they get a turnover against Detroit.
An offensive foul called against Detroit.
But you see, Vinnie in the first half was looking to pass the ball. Right now, he's not looking anything to do but to score, so you know you're going to have to try to keep the ball out of his hands, and at the same time, you've got to come back and score.
Michael Jordan brings it up the floor. 5:10 left. 83-77 Detroit. Horace Grant against John Sally. Hodges played by Vinnie Johnson. Cartwright faces it against Edwards, who has 4 fouls. He walks. Another turnover against Cartwright.
For the Bulls right now, they would be better if they just take it and put it in the air and gave themselves a chance to score. 23 turnovers to 10 has been the story of this game. Vinnie Johnson.
Oh, he is hot. Michael Jordan was hanging all over him, but he drilled it. 85-77. Timeout called by Chicago. This place is up for grabs. 4:33 left. Pistons 85, Bulls 77. Michael Jordan had a 10-point third quarter, has managed only 1 field goal, no free throws in this final period. And they need a hoop, do the Bulls.
They need a shot. They just need to put the ball in the air. They've been working through Cartwright. He's made the last turnovers. They come again.
And he misses. And Rodman the rebound. .410 left. Detroit can build a 10-point lead. Oh, the pass for Rodman too high.
Well, this is the number that they had in Game 3 when they stole it. They had 77 points when Jordan took over. Let's see if they recognize where they are and what they need. He's got to shoot the ball.
Hodges for 3. Not if Hodges keeps doing that. 85-80. 3:50 left. Hodges with 16, 4 of them from three-point country. 3:40 left. Vinny. He finally missed one. Cartwright the rebound. Here come the Bulls. Michael Hodges for 3 more. Not this time. Rebound Rodman. Dumars walks it up the floor. Chuck Daly with play instruction. 3:15 left. For 3, Vinny, no. Rebound, Scottie Pippen. Outlet pass, Michael. Hodges on the wing. 2:57 left. Pippen for 2. No. Rodman, yet another rebound. He has 12. Dumars front court. Timeout called by Detroit. 2:42 left. Pistons by 5 and with the ball. We'll be back. 2:42 left in regulation. Pistons with the ball and a 5-point lead, and nothing from Michael in quarter number 4.
And it has been surprising because the fourth period is normally his. He has gotten 1 field goal in the air and has yet to score his 3 or 4 from the line. But this is a time when they need Jordan to answer the bell. They're still in the ball game, only down by 5. First, they need a defensive stop. Isaiah Thomas has not played here in the fourth period of play because of the play of Vinnie Johnson.
Here we go. Vinny with the inbounds pass. Dumars looks to Edwards against Cartwright. His jumper, good. A 7-point game with 2:26. James Edwards has had a big game again.
Hodges is down.
Hodges is hurting. A 22nd timeout is called here. I don't know what happened to him. Mark Feil, the fine Chicago trainer, is quickly out to tend to him. Let's see if we can spot what happened.
You see Edwards go up for the shot, and as you flash in your picture, you'll watch Rodman come across, and this is where the contact is made. The high-flying foot and knee catch him right about the chin area. Contact for Rodman.
Dick Versace, how do you see it?
I see it as a battle of wills at this point. Vinnie Johnson has really taken over. As you pointed out, we haven't seen Isaiah, and I don't know if we will see him. The battle of wills continues.
Well, if anyone's been able to will their team to a victory, it has been Jordan so far, and he's got 2:22 to make up a 7-point difference.
Hodges stays in there and handles the pass. He can't unload, and when he does, Dumars steals it. Their 24th turnover. Detroit a 22-point quarter, and their reserves have them all. We are entering the 2-minute period. Edwards gives it up. Sally with 1 on the clock. Oh, a heartbreaker for Chicago. He ran all 24 seconds and then drilled it. Timeout, Chicago. This place is up for grabs.
Well, a lot of people here at the Palace in Auburn Hills feel a lot more secure after this shot from John Sally. Against the shot clock, Sally, who's not supposed to be a perimeter player, drains it, and you see his reaction in the crowd as well. They have a 9-point advantage with 1:47 to play, and in this second half of play, the turnovers have been the killer for the Chicago Bulls.
They have just 16 points in this quarter and 35 in the second half.
And they've been on a downhill slide in terms of point production since the first period of play. 25-20-19, but they've got to shoot. Jordan.
They spot up Hodges for 3, and he gets it. Well, that's one thing Jordan will do, even when he's not, his offense isn't cooking. He will get the open man the ball. 5 3-point baskets and 19 points for Hodges.
Now they need a stop at this end of the floor.
They don't have one yet. Dumars gets out of there. 9 on the shot clock. Underhanded scoop by Dumars. Holy smoke. What a shot. It's an 8-point game with 1:12. Jordan spots up Pippen for 3, but he's way short. Dennis Rodman out there with it to Sally, and he wisely slows it down.
Normally in those situations, Jordan would look to put it in the air, but I think they think their only way to get back in the game is via the 3-point field goal.
8 on the timer. Dumars into the lane again. It's deflected out of bounds. 6 on the shot clock, 46 in the game. And a 20-second timeout will be called by the Detroit Pistons. It's a 20-second timeout for Detroit. That's an amazing statistic. Time after time, he's tried to give him a 3-point basket, especially late, but he has not aggressively sought the shot.
And it is amazing. I mean, we want to credit the Detroit Pistons defense some, but at the same time, Jordan appears to have been very concerned about making sure that his teammates got involved in the game and has not been looking at the hoop. The last time he did not feel well, he had a little case of the flu and wasn't scoring the ball, but at least he was looking to shoot it. This time when he's having an off-ball game, he just has not put the ball in the air.
6 seconds on the shot clock, an 8-point Detroit lead. Rodman can't get it in. It's a kicked ball on a new 24-second clock, and that's just the final icing on the cake for Detroit.
And should Chicago lose, this would be the first time that they would be behind in a playoff series this year.
Vinnie Johnson with it. Jordan has to foul him, and Vinnie, ordinarily an excellent foul shooter, will have a chance to give his team a 10-point lead with 44 seconds left. Across the way, Pacer coach Dick Versace. Dick, if you can hear me in this madhouse, do you have any thoughts on Michael's lack of looking for a shot?
Well, as I watched the game unfold, I felt that he was saving it for the end, but he never did put that explosion together that I thought he was going to. He has been double-teamed the whole game, and it's not his nature to take a really bad shot, and I think maybe that entered into it.
Vinny makes the first. He has been magnificent. Vinnie Johnson now with 21. $15 in the quarter. 93-83. Jordan against Dumars, who has hawked him relentlessly all night. Down low, Cartwright.
They make them make the extra pass. They get a 2-point field goal for it, but they use up a lot of time.
And they foul Dumars. They have no choice but to do that. Then they have to come to the other end and hope that he misses. Bill Cartwright now has 16, only 6 in the second half, and he really had some trouble here offensively in the fourth quarter.
Cartwright, along with the Bulls, sort of self-destructed in the second half when they made a lot of turnovers.
Cartwright had 10 rebounds at halftime, only 1 since. Free throw good by Dumars. Well, when you win, you normally win as a team. When you lose it. You can't point the finger at Bill Cartwright. The turnovers have been well distributed, and that has killed Chicago. Chicago calls a timeout with 31 seconds left. We'll return right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to
94-85, 31 seconds left. This one looks like it's in the barn for Detroit, but the series is far from over. Game 6, of course, of huge importance, especially, this is very simplistic, Steve, please bear with me, but if Chicago wins, or rather loses Friday, their season is over.
Yeah, that is very simplistic.
Thank you very much. I know you'd appreciate that. Hey, I've enjoyed working with you and Rick and Walt Frazier throughout the year. We'll look forward to doing it again.
Yeah, you made it easy for all of us. You know, those simplistic explanations always carry us.
Well, I understand. 94-85.
You got any 9-point plays?
No, maybe Dick does across the way, but I don't have any. I'm fresh out of 9-point play.
If you're Detroit,
It's possible, but boy, the odds are long.
if you're Detroit, all you want to do is get possession of the basketball back again. In Chicago, of course, they've got to figure out ways to turn this thing over and score it in these final 31 seconds. Garrison pulls Chuck Daly back. Chuck, you got the game. Don't make a mistake here and get involved with me.
And Chuck immediately said, don't wrinkle the suit.
Notice how long Chicago's taking just to get a shot.
And when they get it, it's for 2. Well, it's really not for any, but it would have been for 2. And the lights are out on this night for the Bulls. CBS will have Game 6 for you on Friday. Why not, Vinny? It's been your night. He dribbles it up. So the Pistons fall behind early, but win the game 94-85. And in the last 3 quarters of the game, the Bulls scored 20, 19, and 21 points against the Detroit defense.